No workplace pension, no problem. The truth is, you can still create one by timing your income the right way. Most people focus on where their money comes from, but what really matters is when you take it. When you sequence your income properly, you can build your own pension that pays you for life. In this video, you'll see how to time your CPP and OAS for the biggest lifetime payout, how to draw from your RRSP and your TFSA in the right order to minimize taxes, and how to turn those accounts into a steady inflation-protected paycheck you can actually count on. Back in the 1970s and 80s, most Canadians didn't have to think about sequencing their income. You worked 30 years, retired, and the pension did all the work for you. The paycheck simply kept coming, but as those defined benefit pensions disappeared, that automatic coordination disappeared too. Gen X is probably the first generation that has to build that coordination themselves, deciding when to start CPP and OAS and how to draw from RSPs and TFSAs so the income keeps flowing smoothly. And the good news is, with the right timing, you can replicate the same reliability that pensions used to provide without needing one. Now, if you don't have a workplace pension, you're not alone. Most Gen X Canadians don't. But here's the good news. The sequence of your income matters more than the products you actually own. And the order you draw from your accounts can make the difference between running out of money and retiring with confidence. Let's simplify this. When you take income from your investments early in retirement and markets drop, your portfolio has to recover from a smaller base. That's called sequence of returns risk. It's one of the biggest threats to retirees who rely solely on investments. But here's a way to protect yourself. By delaying your CPP or OAS, you're raising your guaranteed income floor, the amount you can count on every single month, no matter what the market does. Think of it like buying a stabilizer for your retirement plan. It helps you withdraw less from your savings when markets are down, so your investments last longer. Financial planners sometimes call deferred CPP a longevity index bond. It's government-backed, inflation-linked, and pays you for as long as you live. And it's not going anywhere. Canada's chief actuary has confirmed the CPP is fully funded for at least 75 years at current contribution rates. So yes, it will be there for Gen X. CPP, or the Canada Pension Plan, can start anytime between age 60 and 70. Each month you start before 65, it reduces your benefit by 0.6%. And each month you delay it after 65, it increases it by 0.7%. That means taking it at 60 cuts your check by 36%, but delaying it to 70 boosts it by 42%. And the best part, both CPP and OAS rise with inflation every single year. They're built to keep up with your cost of living. OAS, which starts at 65, can also be delayed to 70 for a 36% increase, but it comes with one catch: the clawback. If your income goes over roughly $91,000, for instance in 2024, OAS starts to shrink by 15 cents on the dollar. So managing your income timing isn't just about maximizing payouts, it's actually about keeping what you're entitled to. Now, here's something most people overlook. Since 2024, there are two contribution levels for CPP for YMPE and the YAMPE. Higher income earners now contribute more, which means a higher future benefit. It's one of the quiet upgrades that helps Gen Xers build more guaranteed income later. And remember, the average 65-year-old in Canada today will likely live another 20 to 22 years. That's a long pay period to plan for, which is why maximizing your inflation-protected income is such a powerful move. Now let's look at how this actually plays out in real life. Okay, there isn't one perfect answer for everyone. It really depends on your health, your savings, and really your goals. So here are 3 timing strategies that cover most Gen X situations. Here's scenario 1, bridge then benefits. This one's for healthy Gen Xers with a decent nest egg and little or no debt. You draw from your RSP or TFSA in your 60s and delay CPP and OAS until 70. Let's use Sam as an example. He's 59 with about $600,000 in an RSP and $120,000 in a TFSA. No pension, no debt. From 60 to 69, he lives off about $40,000 a year from his savings, filling his lower tax brackets early. Then at 70, he turns on CPP and OAS at their higher amounts. What's the result? Lower tax later, no clawback risk, and a much larger guaranteed income floor. At 71, RRIF minimums start at about 5.26%, which can push people into higher brackets. By spending RSPs earlier, Sam keeps his future income smoother. The trade-off? You need a bridge, income from savings or part-time work to reach 70. But for those who can, it's one of the most effective ways to build your own pension. Scenario 2, taking your CPP early. This one's for people with poor health, unstable income, or high-interest debt. Meet Nina. She's 60, working part-time with a $90,000 RSP and carrying about 19% credit card debt. Taking CPP early lets her clear that debt, and paying off 19% interest is a guaranteed return, better than really any market investment. Her CPP check will be smaller for life, about 36% less, but in her case, the peace of mind and financial relief makes it worthwhile. The key is to treat it as a one-time reset, not a permanent habit of spending too early. Scenario 3, the hybrid. This approach works well for couples with different incomes or health situation. One spouse delays CPP for the higher income benefit and the stronger survivor income, while the other starts earlier for cash flow. Take Alex and Jordan. Alex, the higher earner, delays CPP to 70. Jordan takes CPP at 65. At 65, they also convert a portion of their RSPs to RRIFs, allowing income splitting and access to the 2000 pension credit each. What's the result? Well, they keep their combined income under the OAS clawback threshold and secure a stronger survivor benefit down the road. A good starting point is the new Safe Withdrawal research for 2025, which suggests about 3.7% initial withdrawal rate for a 30-year retirement under conservative conditions. That's roughly about $37,000 per year from a $1 million portfolio. But this isn't a rigid rule. It's just a baseline. One option is the dynamic guardrails approach. You increase your spending slightly after really good market years and trim back a bit after bad ones. It keeps your portfolio healthy while letting your lifestyle adjust gradually. Another is VPW, which is the variable percentage withdrawal method. It's a Canada-born strategy that adjusts your withdrawal rate each year based on your age and market returns. Here's where sequencing turns from smart to strategic, because the way you draw income can make a huge difference to your after-tax results. The general order that tends to win looks like this. They draw down RSPs first, delay CPP and OAS if possible, and then save TFSA withdrawals for last. Here's why. Your 60s are often your lowest tax years. By drawing from your RSPs early, you can fill your lower tax brackets now and avoid being pushed into higher ones later when RRIF minimums kick in. That also helps keep your taxable income steady and predictable. Then once CPP and OAS start, you'll already have reduced your RSP balance, meaning smaller RRIF withdrawals and less chance of triggering the OAS clawback. And speaking of clawbacks, the OAS recovery tax starts when your net income passes roughly $91,000 for 2024, for instance. Every dollar over that reduces OAS by 15 cents. Using RSP drawdowns and TFSA withdrawals strategically can help you stay under that line. After age 65, RRIF income counts as eligible pension income, which means you can split up to half with your spouse and claim the 2000 pension credit each. CPP and OAS can't be split, so this is one of your key levers to equalize taxes between partners. Finally, think about conversions. You have to convert your RSP by the end of the year you turn 71, but converting a portion earlier, say around 65, gives you more control and access to income splitting sooner. Now, a lot of Gen Xers say, I'll take my CPP early and invest it myself. On paper, that sounds like control, but in reality, delaying often wins by a wide margin. When you defer CPP to age 70, your monthly payment is 42% higher, and that increase is locked in, indexed to inflation, and guaranteed for life. That's like earning a risk-free inflation-adjusted return of more than 7% a year for 5 years. You can't buy that kind of guarantee from any bond or GIC. For a healthy 60-year-old couple, the odds that at least one spouse will live past 90 are 60%. That means deferral usually pays off, not just mathematically, but emotionally. Because once those larger CPP and OAS checks start coming in, you've got a guaranteed floor of income you'll never outlive. That stability changes everything: how you spend, how you invest, and how you sleep at night. So when people ask, should I take it early or wait? The real question is, what's peace of mind worth to you? Here's what smart sequencing really gives you. It gives you tax smoothing. Drawing from your RSPs earlier helps you stay in a steady, moderate tax bracket really throughout retirement, instead of facing low taxes now and much higher ones later. It's like spreading the load evenly over time. It also provides lower clawback exposure. By shrinking your RRIFs before CPP and OAS begin, you reduce the risk of losing OAS to the recovery tax. You keep more of what you've earned And it happens quietly, automatically. Sequencing your income takes planning, but it also gives you something you can't measure on a spreadsheet: peace of mind, predictability, and the confidence to actually enjoy retirement. So, how do you actually build your own pension? Here's the simple 3-step framework. Step 1, you decide your floor. Delay CPP and OAS if you can bridge the gap in your 60s. That delay becomes your built-in inflation-proof pension, the income you could always rely on. Then you control your taxes. Use your 60s to draw down RSPs, split RRIF income later, and keep your TFSA for flexibility. You're not just saving tax, you're buying control over when and how you pay it. Then you can protect your lifestyle. Start with a conservative withdrawal rate around 3.7% and really adjust with the markets using a flexible rule. And when you follow this framework, your retirement income becomes predictable, not hopeful. Most Gen X Canadians don't want more financial products. They want clarity. And that's what sequencing gives you. Your do-it-yourself pension isn't built by luck or by chasing returns. It's built by timing. So whether you're 45 or 60, remember this: you don't need a gold-plated pension. You just need a plan that pays you for life. There's one more question every Gen Xer eventually faces. What about your parents? In our next video, how to tell if your parents will need subsidies in older age, I'll show you how to protect their income and spot early if they might need help later on. It's the perfect way to plan confidently for both generations. So click in the show notes down below to watch that next.